We switch our focus here after 37 years inside a prison cell. 55-year-old Robert Dubois is now finally walking out a free man today. DNA evidence recently proved that he did not rape and murder 19-year-old Barbara Grams in 1983. This story gaining national attention today. ABC Action News reporter Heather Lee standing outside the Hardy Correctional Facility where Dubois just reunited with his family. Heather, I can only imagine what a scene that must have been.
Paul, it was a wonderful moment to see him not only hug his mother, but also his sister after all this time. He tells me that he does not have any anger in his heart. He just doesn't have room for that, but he is excited to get his life back on track. I mean, if you think about it, he literally went from high school into a prison cell, charged with the murder and rape of a 19-year-old woman. That woman was Barbara Grams. Her body was found behind a dentist office on North Boulevard near Orient Road in '83. Investigators took DNA swabs in the form of a rape kit back then. Among other evidence, investigators found what they thought was a bite mark on Grams' cheek, and during trial, a jailhouse informant claimed Dubois admitted to the crime. DNA wasn't used in court hearings at that time, so with that said, a jury found him guilty, and he was sentenced to prison on a death sentence in 1985. That was later changed to life in prison. Recently, the Innocence Project decided to take on his case, and after months of digging into the evidence and details of this case, that bite mark evidence and jailhouse informant info was discredited. But the final piece of crucial evidence here that really cracked the conviction wide open was the DNA evidence. The state originally thought it had been destroyed in 1990, but after visiting the medical examiner's office, they found the rape kit, tested it, and discovered Dubois is innocent.
I just felt that they couldn't possibly have gotten rid of all the evidence like they said, and they didn't. But they swore they did when I went back for an evidentiary hearing.
Now, according to the state attorney's office, there is a new suspect in this case based on that DNA evidence. But because this is still an open investigation, all the information regarding that suspect and this case remains locked down. For now, we're live. Heather Lee, ABC Action News.
Yeah, Heather, this is the kind of story they've made movies about, and what a breakthrough with the DNA evidence in this case. Why did they believe that the evidence was destroyed in the first place?
Paul, back in the 90s, that was standard protocol. After they got a conviction, the clerk of court would just destroy the evidence, and that was standard protocol. At this point, that is no longer standard protocol. In fact, they do not delete or destroy evidence until either the person dies or is released from jail. And in this case, at least the medical examiner's office followed different protocols and still had that DNA.
Wow. Heather, thank you. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this case as it moves forward with now another person of interest. Heather Lee, live on scene there.